The journey of rite of passage for the youngster signals the time a different but parallel journey needs to begin for the parents. The popular conception of empty nesters already exists in our culture. There is a vague cultural recognition that when the children leave home, this is the beginning of a whole new phase in life for the parents. Friends and neighbors may comment and joke, but typically nothing much is done about it. That needs to change. Each parent must set out, ideally with the assistance of elders, mentors, and other community members, to construct their own rituals of death and rebirth. Ready or not, they too must change. Their primary responsibilities have to shift. Their former roles must experience this symbolic death to be reborn into their new role. From primary caretakers, they must transition into being peers, beloved, concerned peers, peers who will never stop worrying and wondering about their offspring, but peers nonetheless. This is no easy task. Here's Jim Horton.
We have a ceremony which is called the father separation. It's an individuation process where just before a boy is going to go off for his major ritual and his boy is just about to end, there's a string which is put, and the father stands on one side of the fire and the boy stands on this side of the fire. It's very important. You get somebody standing alongside the father and somebody standing alongside the boy. And it always starts with the father. Jim, standing across the fire from your son, Jay, do you have some words to say to him at this time? So then, when I finish, you have facility to ask, are you done? And thus, important that facilitation is sensitive, because often our father will stop because he's choked up or whatever it is, and he hasn't got more to say. You need to wait. So then the other facilitator says, Jay, standing across the fire from your father, you have some words to say. One of the facilitators says, Jim, are you ready to lower the string into the fire and burn through it to signify an important chapter in the life of your relationship with your son, Jay? And then the facilitator asks Jay the same thing, and then we bend down, everybody stands in the circle to witness, and we burn through the string. And then all the men thumb their hearts, and the folks put out their string. The father and son have a hug. It's such a simple ceremony, but it's such a potent ritual.
Dr. Mark Schillinger is a colleague who founded an organization called Young Men's Ultimate Weekend in the San Francisco Bay Area. He was inspired by Brad Leslie, another colleague, who founded a similar organization 10 years earlier in Vancouver, British Columbia. Both men have served teen boys magnificently over the years, helping initiate them into mature masculinity. Mark realized that parents need to be taught how to treat their sons differently when they return from their initiation weekends. The old patterns of command and control no longer work with the newly empowered teens. They need to be seen and recognized as young men. So Dr. Schillinger instituted a parallel training weekend for parents. When the boys are off with the men learning how to be better men, Mark trains the parents in adjusting to their new role. Then on Sunday, when the boys are reunited with their parents, Mark conducts a homecoming ritual. The parents are invited to call out the love they have for their sons, the differences they perceive in them, and to name the ways things are now going to be different at home, the new rights and responsibilities the young men have. It's a beautiful process, but it works only because it meets the requirement that the parents receive training in a new way of interacting with their sons.